Hi guys, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to narrate while I'm actually doing the project. This way it's easier for me to explain to you guys what I'm actually doing. I have been highly requested on how to put in a zipper onto a skirt. So today is going to be a basic tutorial on how to put a zipper onto a skirt without the waistband. So if you already know how to do this, you can go ahead and skip this tutorial and then wait for something else next week, and we could go ahead and get started. So normally when you are trying to put in a zipper for a skirt, you're going to have two pieces, and then you're going to have two raw edges where the zipper is going to be placed in the middle. So we're assuming that these two pieces are the back of the skirt, so this right here would actually be the center back. This could also be the side seam of the skirt. Sometimes people like to put the zipper there, but let's just do the one with the center back first because it looks a lot nicer if you're just going to put in a normal zipper like this in the center back. If you're going to do a side seam zipper, I recommend doing like an invisible zipper, which is a completely different thing altogether, but let's start with this first. So before you're going to put in the zipper, you're going to have to measure how much of the zipper you want to put in. As you can see, my zipper is a little bit longer, so I might have to adjust it a little bit. If you're going to buy a pattern, they're going to ask you for a certain type of zipper or a certain size of zipper, and that's okay. It's a lot easier and you don't have to do all this weird calculating. So the first thing what you're going to do is you're going to put the fabric right sides together. I'm going to mark where my zipper is going to start, which is going to be right here. And so that means I would have to sew from here all the way up to here. I'm going to do a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, or you could do 1/2 of an inch, whichever is more comfortable for you. What I did was I sewed from the bottom all the way to where I want my zipper to start. And so then I just go ahead and open it up. And a few of you guys asked me what it means to bust open a seam. Basically when you're busting open the seam, you're just gonna iron it open like this. I also went ahead and ironed down the upper portion of this as well with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now to put in the zipper, I'm going to use basting tape. Basting tape is a double-sided tape which takes away from you actually having to baste the zipper onto the garment and then having to sew the zipper on afterwards. This cuts down one step. Well, since my zipper is a little bit longer than my garment, I'm just going to stop right there. If you guys are getting the correct zipper, then you would have to go all the way up to the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side of the zipper first. We're going to peel off this paper layer, and this will reveal the other sticky side of the tape. Then we're going to flip the skirt over to its right side. Now we're going to put the zipper in, but make sure that this little metal tab here is sticking out just a wee bit. Like so. Then with the folded side of the garment, you're going to put it as close as you can to the teeth. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and since my zipper is a little bit longer than my garment, I am going to go ahead and trim it. It's pretty easy to sew on the zipper now, only because you have your basting tape on. Everything is where it needs to be. It's not going to move around when you're sewing. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your needle right here on this little crevice, and you're going to go 3 stitches to the right, and then you're just going to go straight all the way up. Then you're going to take it out of the machine, and you're going to put the needle right on that little crevice again and go 3 stitches to the left, and then go all the way up. So this is what it's going to look like. Like I said, you're going to start right in the center right here and go all the way up on both sides. And what's going to happen is you're going to have these 2 pieces of thread kind of dangling in the front here. Some people like to cut it off, but in my case, I like to take a needle, and I'm going to thread my needle and bring it to the back. So you're just going to go into this little indentation right here and bring these threads to the back. And what you could do is then you could tie all those threads together. This will reassure that the zipper won't fall apart or come loose or anything crazy like that. Also keep in mind that if you're going to be using a certain color of fabric, try to use the same colored thread. This way the zipper is less noticeable. If you're going to use thread for detailing anywhere else, then that's cool and all, but This is really up to you. I prefer using the same color thread when putting in a zipper. Another thing to keep in mind is that it would be a lot easier if you use a zipper foot. I didn't use a zipper foot in this particular one. Well, I was too lazy to change my regular foot, but you could still do it on the regular sewing foot if you don't have a zipper foot. You're capable of doing it. So now you're basically done with putting in a zipper for your skirt. And now it's gonna kind of look weird up here. It really depends if you want to, I guess, hem it. In my case, I prefer adding a waistband. First of all, it's a design detail that you could add, or you can hem it, of course, but it's gonna be kind of bulky and very uncomfortable here. Some people might line their skirt, which will actually be a lot different than putting in a waistband, but lining is another topic that I'll get into much later on. This is basically how you put in a zipper onto a skirt.